All right, so today we are going to work on a Dawn Redwood. We're gonna prune it up. We're gonna do a little repot. We're gonna have some fun. Let's do this. All right, so today we have my Dawn Redwood tree. Now this tree is about 2 years old, and I did do a repot on this last year. I took it out of its organic soil and I put it into some fresh bonsai soil. I did not do any trimming on it, but I did do root pruning on it. Now, if you look at the roots here, it has some nice root flare at the bottom, and I actually think it's a little bit too big for this pot and it's outgrowing it. So what I want to do today is I want to give it its first trim, and I want to get it out of this pot and into a new pot. I'm not sure how much root pruning I'll do, if any. I'll cross that bridge once I get it out of the pot here. So now one of the reasons I want to prune this now is that the buds are starting to pop out. You can see we have some green buds starting to pop, and I think this might be the time to prune this and get it into a new pot. So all right, so yeah, let's dive in and take a look at this. So for this Dawn Redwood, I think I'm actually going to prune it down pretty hard and pretty low. So I know I definitely want to take this down at least halfway, and I'm thinking I actually want to snip it somewhere around here. So let's do this. All right, here we go. Here is a giant cut. There it is. So I would say that is at least 2/3 of the tree cut off right there. So let's hope that big cuts equal big rewards in this case. And I think it'll be okay. I mean, Dawn Redwoods are supposed to be pretty hardy, so we shall find out. We still have a lot of buds on here. Yeah, and I'm going to actually try and propagate these as well as cuttings. But I do want to make a couple more small cuts here, so let's dive back in a little bit closer again. So looking at this, I think I want to take off this branch and this branch and cut this down around here and probably around here. So let's do this. Let's start with the first cut right here. And then the second cut here. Branch on that side, branch on this side. Now my first instinct is to cut it right here, because that right to these buds right here. But for a safety net, just in case these buds don't take, I'm going to take it back to this one right here. Maybe even that. No, let's take it. Let's take it to here. I'm gonna do it right here. And then hopefully we'll get some branching coming out from there. And then over on this side, we don't have any buds until right here. I'm gonna take a leap of faith and cut it right here. All right, so that's our tree. So we have a lot of buds on here, so I'm not incredibly worried. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I just want this thing to grow, get a little bit of taper, a little bit of movement, some interest before we go too crazy on creating a lot of ramification and branching. I want to get some nice taper in the trunk first using clip and grow. Now I could have wired this thing, but I'm not super comfortable with wiring things. So I'm just going to go the clip and grow method on this and see where it takes me. So yeah, let's propagate some of these cuttings here, and then we'll tackle the soil on this one. All right, and for my bucket for the propagations, I'm going to use this container right here. I have a drainage screen down there already, so that'll be good to go. So let's fill this up. I don't know if I'll even fill it up all the way. I might just fill it up to like here and get these cuttings in there. So let's do this. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. We got them all in the pot here. We got some rooting powder on each one of them. And yeah, we'll see how these grow. If they take, awesome. If they don't, oh well. It's just an experiment. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, they're good to go now. All right, we'll set these aside and watch them in the future. So next up, let's get this out and let's take a look at the soil on the other Dawn Redwood tree, the mother tree, if you will. All right, so here is the pot that I'm going to use for this other Dawn Redwood, the mother tree, if you will. I actually found this pot at a Goodwill for, I think it was either $4.99 or $5.99. I wouldn't necessarily call this a bonsai pot, but it's not too bad. It's a decent sized pot. So what I want to do with this one is I'm putting this Dawn Redwood in a bigger pot just because I want the Dawn Redwood to grow a little bit bigger. I want it to get a little bit bigger, and I want it to, you know, root out a little bit more, because the pot that it's in right now, this little thing is quite small. So let's take a look at this thing. And I do have a drainage screen, so let's just plop that right there. And let's start taking this thing out. Wow, that is in there tight. That is in there quite tight. Yeah. See if I can loosen it up a little bit. Hold on, I think I need to get like a knife or something. All right, so I have a little butter knife here, so let's try to loosen up the sides a little bit with this. Oh, there we go. Ho ho. Wow. Wow. I would say that is root bound. Dang. I don't know if you can see the comparison of this to what it was last year, but this is 1 year of growth. That is massive. That's a brick. So let's move this out of the way for now. I did not expect this to be that root bound. Look at that right there. We could see where I didn't have the drainage hole, or the drainage screen, I mean. And you can just see it kind of pop out. All right, let's start to comb this out. All right, so you can see we have a lot of roots here. Now, initially I was thinking I was just gonna slip pot this, but after seeing the huge mat that I had in this pot here, I mean, you can just see, look at the size difference. Look at all the roots that were fit inside this little pot. So I think I am going to do a little bit more pruning than I anticipated. And I think it's gonna be some of these big ones right here. Like, this is a huge, huge root right here. I have a taproot, a couple super thick roots. So I think I do need to do some pruning on this. So let's take a look at it. So I know for sure I want to get rid of some of these super long ones. So first off, I want to just snip some of these guys right off. All right, now if you look in here, we have a pretty thick taproot coming out right from the bottom. And my first thought is to take that one off. So let's do that here. I'm curious if these things would propagate too. I might have a separate propagation of just roots. So I see there's another huge taproot right here, and I'm thinking I want to take that out as well. It just goes straight down and it's huge. So let's get rid of that. Big cut right there. I'm just going to clean up some of this down here at the bottom. This is a really tough call. So part of me is thinking I would love to just take this big part off, but then I would just be left with that little bit of roots and like nothing on this side. I also don't want to kill the thing either and take too much off of it. Now, another part of me says that I should take off this part right here, this root right here, and then we'd be left with something like that, which I still don't like this big root there, but at least it would be good for right now. I think I got to take this part off. That's just too much of a root. So let's do it. There we go. All right, let's leave it somewhere around there and deal with this big root next time we do some pruning on here. Hopefully we'll get some more roots popping out in the future over on this side. Who knows? But yeah. All right, let's clean this up. And yeah, I might even throw some of these in a pot just to see if these things will grow into anything. That would be super interesting. So, all right, let's pot this guy up. All right, let's throw some soil in here. All right, I think that will do it. Let's get some water on this thing. All right, there it is. All right, and here we have it. We have our Dawn Redwood all pruned up and in a brand new pot. Now, I did not anticipate having to do that much root pruning, but I think it will be for the benefit of the tree. Having grown this from seed, it's super rewarding seeing this thing grow and develop and change, and I got some potential cuttings from this. I have these three are just from the roots themselves, so they might propagate, I'm not sure. And then this one over here is just all cuttings from the branches. So yeah, we'll see what happens with these. If they take, they take. If they don't, they don't. That's no big deal. So we'll see how this progresses in the spring and see how it develops in the future. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.